Ecos de Amor, Song of the Year, Ecos de Amor, and Best Contemporary Pop Vocal Album, Un Besito Más. Jesse and Joy are currently on tour on their North American leg, and they started in Texas, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. They will be on the road through December with stops in cities like San Diego, Tucson, Arizona. Yo digo Tucson porque soy latino, pero Milwaukee, Chicago, Los Angeles, November 25th. I hope you're going to be there. And New York are their last stop on December 4th. I won't reveal the name of the songs, but tonight we will be hearing from a hit of their debut album, Esta es mi vida, in 2006. That was 10 years ago. And we will also hear tracks from their recent production, Un Besito Más, including English versions of some of them. So, yes, well, un gran aplauso para ellos, Jesse y Joy.
Hola.
Hello.
So they said 80% English, 20 Spanish.
Yeah, let's do English and 80%.
Hola, ¿cómo are you?
And you? How are you?
Yes, sí. Which together is Jesse.
That's 50-50 now.
We're gonna talk about being bicultural and everything, but I wanted to start with something very simple. How is the supermoon affecting you?
I'm glad you mentioned
there's
it.
a lot of friends, and I think personally it's been affected.
No, thank you. I was just telling my friends backstage that I feel like whenever you take a nap and you're not quite sleeping, but you're not quite awake, and someone was like, well, it's the jet lag. I mean, we've been, I don't even know where we've been. It's been pretty crazy, but it's the moon.
It is the moon. What do you think, Jesse?
I mean, if it affects Joy, it definitely is going to affect me at some point. So it's been good. It's been good.
He's been growing some fangs.
Have you done any?
That's the fang, you know.
Have you written any songs about the moon? No.
Yes.
Yeah. Which one?
We
The moon. It's called the moon.
We actually, well, we have a few songs. Some of them you haven't heard yet, and we have one particular song that is in our second album, Electricidad, and there's this line that I love. It says, "Luna, mi satélite de amor, Luna, solo brillas para dos."
Yes. I don't know, for some reason we love to use space references in our songs. We were listening to a song that was never released, and I think we wrote it like 15 years ago or something like that, and we might put it in our next album at some point, but we wrote it way before writing Espacio Sideral. Mm-hmm. And it has in the verse, in the pre-chorus, it has a reference to outer space, and I was like, wow.
What's the song?
It was like that.
Okay. What I
Because
love
we're
about
lunatics. Lunatics are from La Luna.
Eso es, lunáticos.
No de locos, sino de que nos encanta el espacio.
What I love about this kind of meetings or sessions, it's the fact that you guys are able to talk to them. So I'm not going to ask you to ask questions right now. You need to warm up probably, and you need to hear what they have to say about their, especially their new album tonight. But you're more than welcome to start thinking about those questions, because it's more like one in a lifetime that you have the chance to be in such an intimate space, which I'm enjoying a lot.
Thank you, likewise.
I love these guys, and they
Thank you,
know
likewise.
You know it.
So let's start with the beginning. This dream of Jesse and Joy started on a couch, the living room. How were those times? Because I think you were the first one like getting the guitar and playing with it, and then she was listening to you. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, so
and
far
I showed it to her.
Like my voice because I like to sing.
Well,
How old were you guys?
I was 15, Jesse was 18, and Jesse's been, I mean, he's beyond talented. Every single.
I got it from my sister.
Aww. We pay each other afterwards. It's like, how many did you? Okay, $50.
Did I do it? Good,
Yes. So, no, and I mean it. He's extremely talented. You know you are, and
Thank you.
he basically just puts his hand on any sort of musical instrument, and he'll figure out how to play it in no time. And he started, you know, with the drums, then the piano, and the last instrument that he learned how to play, well, back then was the guitar. So he was, you know, just fooling around with it, you know, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I think I created something. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, no, it sounds new. It doesn't sound like it's something I've heard on the radio. It doesn't sound like something I've heard before. And I was like...
And I wanted to show it. Joy was the first person that I like it. Yo le quería enseñar, the one that I wanted to show. I'm like...
Sorry, this is all self-taught?
Yes.
Yes, it's all self-taught.
And so I was like, that sounds amazing. You should totally write a song. And he's like...
I was doing the math.
I just got this far.
I was doing the math. And I'm like, okay, she's got the pipes. I got the. We can do it together. Plus management, plus this, and I'm like, why don't we write it together? We both don't know. We've never written a song before. Why don't we do it together?
Since ever, it's been, and this definitely defines our career. It defines our personalities. One of us can come up with an idea, but the other one adds something, and the other continues adding. And so I was like
a Mega Man.
Yes. He was like, this is a melody. I tell him, write a song, and he says, let's write it together. And so that definitely was the beginning of something we never even imagined. We never thought of sharing music with people. We never thought of singing in front of people. I knew I could sing since I was really little.
What about your parents? Those are the first people that you go
no, definitely.
sing for them.
But before anything, I could barely speak, and I was already humming and trying to sing.
We never knew our parents. No, I'm just kidding.
And my
story, you know, more.
Our parents knew I could sing, and so once I started speaking and obviously growing up, they would always want me to sing for the family, because I would lock myself in the room and I would just sing at the top of my lungs, and I couldn't do it in public. It was just
sneak in, and she'd be like so tiny. I think she maybe 2 years old, and she had her teddy bears, las muñecas, the dolls, and like sitting like that, like the audience, like you be the teddy bear, you can be the
It was a tough crowd.
Right?
It was a tough crowd. It was like I'd finish singing. Really, but I mean, it was a good experience. After that, anything is good. But my parents wanted us to, at least whenever family would come over or friends, they'd be, oh, let me bring the little monkey, sing for them, you know, sí, traigan a la niña. And I really didn't like it. It was like my secret. It was my very special gift, and I didn't want to share it. So whenever Jesse brings the music and we start writing together and we start creating music together, we started getting a little like curious. What does it sound like? Because we could sing it and we'd go to mom and dad and it's like, oh my God, you know? And
mom and would like it, but that
come on, it's mom and dad.
It's mom and dad, right? So we started showing it to our friends and other people, and then then our dad was like, why don't you guys perform that song you wrote on next Sunday at church? And we were like, at church, that song talks about like Superman and El Espacio Sideral. I mean, like, unless it's like God on our way to the outer space, to heaven, we visit the outer space. So.
No, so I mean, and for a really long time, sometimes we look at videos of whenever we started performing, and we do not move. Like we're, you know, anchored to the floor. And we think about it now, and we started performing sometimes at church, so it was a very muy solemne kind of crowd. We wouldn't want to move and be disrespectful, you know, it's like no dancing, no. And after a while, we just were like, you know what? I think that when God gives you a gift, your way of sharing it's just like the way you get to portray it, you know. And
I remember one time I discovered there was a broken speaker below the the stage at the church, and a broken guitar. So I started messing around with that. I plugged in the speaker, la bocina, and it sounded distorted. I'm like, because it was broken. And I'm like, wow. So one day I stayed after church and I started playing a Santana riff, and all of a sudden, I did it on purpose when nobody was there, and all of a sudden this guy walks in like, no toques esa música del diablo que me duele mi corazón. De Satanás, y yo no, Santana. No. But it's for real,
I want to talk about, I keep talking about your family because it's very important. These guys are truly bilingual, bicultural. You were born in Mexico City. Your Chilangos. Your father was from Mexico, but your mother is from Milwaukee.
Wisconsin.
Sorry.
It's close.
Sorry.
I never.
It's cold. It's cold.
It's like I've never been. I was like,
did they vote
either.
Republican or Democrat?
Our mom?
No.
I was like, we don't want to talk about that. I think this year was.
It's a red state. Yeah. Okay.
Cheeseheads.
So, anyways,
no toques esa canción.
No vamos a tocar esa. It's very bicultural. You are very bicultural, bilingual, and everything, and that shape what you do today. Because you have the music that your father was listening, which was very different to your mother. And so tell me a little about that. What do you remember listening to? What did you like about the music they were playing for you guys?
There was a lot of Los Panchos playing back at home. For those of you who don't know who Los Panchos were, they were a trio. Mexicanos, sí. Y bueno, yo conocí a los mexicanos. Sí, no, era un trío mexicano, and requinto. No, beautiful songs, but it was completely the opposite to what Mom would play. Mom would play Carole King, James Taylor, Aretha Franklin.
What about the Carpenters?
The Carpenters, totally. Oh my God, I just love her voice.
Great furniture. You know, it's like, oh, what are we talking about? We actually met producer, guitarist, engineer Tony Peluso, and he used to produce and record guitars, and he performed with the Carpenters, and we met him like 11 years ago. He passed away a few years ago, and before that we met him and we played him a couple of songs. He literally started like weeping. He's like, you guys remind me so much of them. You have that thing with the way you compliment each other, brother and sister. Her voice, like, unique, and what you do and what you guys do together. And it was kind of a special moment for us, even though our music doesn't sound like that. There's some resemblance of that old 70s vibe that we grew up listening, adding up what we started listening when we were growing up.
But would you like to? Did you want to add more to the music and how it shaped the sound that you have today?
I honestly think, like, when someone asks us to describe our music, I can't quite figure out what it is or what genre, because I do believe that there's a bit of everything. And sometimes I hear our lyrics, and the lyrics are so, I'm going to say Mexican, porque hay un romanticismo importante, especial, and no, yeah, but besides passionate, it's like
Picante,
definitely picante. But then there's the music influence of what Mom was listening to whenever she was pregnant with each and, us. And so I really, really believe that our music is the perfect example of how we were brought up.
But when, especially the Americans, the gringos, they try to categorize your music. They describe it as folk, country, alternative rock. What do you like when they talk about you guys?
Jesse Joy.
Is a unique sound.
Well, I mean, whenever we're making music, we want it to be special. We want it to be unique. We want people to be, listening to the radio and say, I think that's them. you know. But there's a very fine line between creating new music and having people say, that's Jesse and Joy, or wait, it is them, you know, just to keep on surprising our public, our fans, because every song we write, every record we make, it's not just for people to like it, it's for us to be satisfied with what we're making. And I think we stopped believing in genres a long time ago. It's about what makes us feel good, what makes us want to dance, what makes us want to cry, what soothes us when we're crying. So I just think that it's a feel-good kind of music.
I think the way we see it, we start from the soul of what we do, which is music and songs, and we just try to write the best songs that we can, and gives us both goosebumps. And after that, in the studio, we just like love to make the kids wonder, you know. And I forgot what I was gonna say.
No, but I'm glad you touched the subject, because sometimes people ask us, how does it work? You know, the sibling dynamic, and is there a leading one? Is there someone that has the final word, or who's the boss? And we just think, well, honestly, he's not the boss of me. No, honestly, it's more like the music leads us, and whenever we're writing, it's a bit of, okay, he might have this idea that he's crazy about, and I'm like, or vice versa, but we'll keep on going for hours until we both get goosebumps, and that's our limit. It's like
30 seconds.
It's either goosebumps or tears, and then we know that it's not about him getting his way or me getting my way. It's about music getting its way.
And with time, we've realized, because we've worked over the last 11 years. I mean, even though we're in the studio producing, and I'm behind that area, and we work with other producers, and other friends and colleagues have worked with the same producers, trying to, maybe it can sound a little like Jesse and Joy's last song or whatever, but it never ends up sounding the same, because to sound similar to Jesse and Joy, this is the mix that makes the difference, and this is the like nitro and glycerin, at least for us, in what we do, and to sound like Jesse and Joy, you need this combination.
But I'm going to jump into the future, because I feel like you guys are getting ready for
Please tell me we won a Grammy. Please tell me.
Oh, no.
Please tell me what happened on Thursday. Please tell me. I want to know.
No, es un futuro más lejano aún. Because I think you guys are slowly and secretly preparing.
I don't want to know when I die.
Would you like to see a crossover? Fully English? Okay. And when I describe Joy's voice, I always say angelical.
Thank you.
And you know, it's 100% honest on my part. But so you've been comparing. We don't like comparison. I hate that when I interview like actors and everything. You're the next. I hate that. But Norah Jones has been a name that in the past the New York Times mentioned your name next to her, or Alanis Morissette and Lady Antebellum. But if you think about a crossover, and you're probably going to say, oh, no, we're not thinking about it, or maybe yes, give me the scoop. Would you do country music? Is that what the first maybe genre that you think?
I think it's one of those things that her voice already has that soul, that, I don't know, sound, that 70s vibe. That it's a mix. And I think if we go that way, it'll be full on, and it wouldn't have anything unique to it. Besides being a great country song. But when we do the mix with what we do in her voice, I think it's kind of like, I don't know, just to put an example, like, I don't know, when Amy Winehouse did her thing, and what Mark Ronson brought to her, to her unique talent, was that, I mean, he made it a little, he went a little away from that feel that Amy's voice gave you. But because otherwise it would have been like, it could have sounded like an amazing old record. So you kind of mix it. But I think I'm gonna let Joy talk, because she's giving me.
Mi suerte, your turn.
I think what we want to do whenever, because we had a year of intense writing in English. There was this project going on, and we were thinking of maybe you know, having a full English album. And this was during Con Quien Se Queda el Perro cycle. Atlantic Records came to us and they were like, we want an English album, da 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 da. So we're like, okay. And in between touring, we were writing in English. And I think that was the best thing that had happened to us, or that has happened to us, because at some point in all these writing sessions with
to me, it was meeting you, Joy.
Aw. But no, what I'm trying to get at is that, first of all, we've always written everything just Jesse and me. And to open up to the possibility of writing with other people, it was an experiment we really much liked, and now eventually we write with friends, etc. But when we were writing with these type of A-list songwriters, Atlantic wanted the new whoever, the new etc. And we wrote a bunch of songs, and in those songs, there are songs like Echoes of Love. There are songs like Dueles. And so we realized, yes, exactly. We realized that the sound that we have whenever we write in English, it's the exact Jesse and Joy sound. It only changes in the language. And for us, I think that the thing that we love about music the most is that music is the one language everyone can understand. And whenever you were asking about a total or full crossover, I think that the biggest crossover that we can have, or that we can achieve, is completely embracing the fact that tenemos dos culturas. So what we want to do is, yes, we want to write. I
see what you did there, like playing with words and
sing more and sing more songs in English, but we could never stop singing in Spanish. And I think it's just a little bit of, yes, we already let all of you into our home. You know, you already know the living room, you already know the kitchen, but we're opening the other door of, okay, this is another part of us. This is also us. We are Mexican American, and we're proud of it. And yes, we sing it too. So it's just a little bit of both.
And as the world grows smaller, we realize that the word crossover is getting a bit relative, since, I mean, already our music is in Spanish or in English. It's all over across the world, and we already cross over into the States with our songs in Spanish. So, I mean, we want to do it also gradually and not give the perception to our fans that we just want to get greedy or we're following a trend. It's just us, you know, because we hear a lot of Latinos artists that we love and respect, occasionally doing stuff in English when their only language is and the first language is Spanish. In order to,
it would be like us trying to sing in Portuguese or French and pretending we don't have an accent. Why would we do that? I mean, we could, and it could be a special occasion and whatever. But for us, writing in these two languages,
we don't want to send that message.
Exactly.
But I think it will come very natural on you.
We want to do it organic, and both in Spanish and English. I mean, we just can't stop being who we are.
The songwriting, it's surprising to me. I'm not a musician, but it's surprising to me that you guys like to write while you're touring. Aren't you like tired after being in a big venue? Just want to go home or to the hotel room and disconnect? But you guys actually write the songs, and you did it for this album, right?
Yes.
For the previous tour.
The first album, well, the only album that we've actually just completely written without touring has been the first one. And after that, I think being on tour was just so inspiring. The fact that first of all, it was like the first time we were away from home for that long. It was getting to know each other without mom and dad around, so it was the Wild West. The sheriff wasn't around. We had to like get to know each other and, you know, get the dynamic going. And yeah, sometimes we're tired. Sometimes we just want to go to the hotel, and that's what we do. But there are magical moments in which the guitar is there and the vibe is going, so we don't want to stop it. We just continue. But something has been happening in the last few days, and we've been all around Texas, like you were saying a while ago. We've been spending a lot of time in the car, and we were rediscovering songs that we had written years and years ago. We were like, sometimes you just need to, have perspective and get a little bit. And I was like, oh my God, we need to just fix a couple of things. And I don't know, it's the fact of, sharing the music with all of you. And once we're off stage, we're imagining, oh, maybe we can go and write something kind of like that so we can have this type of moment on stage. So I think that's why it inspires us so much whenever we're on the road to keep on creating music.
Yeah, music just calls for more music, and also, I mean, not that it was we planned it like that or intended or that was the idea, but we realized that once we finish a tour, we have a nice starting point for the next album, and we just whenever we take a break after the tour, we can get away a little bit, at least from our music, and then we come back after just depressurizing from the tour, and then we go back to the songs that we have, and we see where we're standing at and where we're gonna go towards the next album, and we just go, okay, we have this, we're missing this, let's just get in a room with a couch, the same when we started, most likely the same couch, and we write the rest of the album. And that is kind of good. There's an expression in Spanish, I'm going to say it in Spanish and in English, but sin querer nos estamos curando salud. It's like, I heard one thing.
How was he going to say it? I was like, I want to see that.
Yeah, it's like we're going to the doctor before we're sick. And that's kind of what we're doing. As opposed as finishing the tour, and then we have this pressure or like time, record labels, and
it takes a lot of pressure.
And it takes time, and in order to have one song that is good, we need to write 10 or 20. So we gotta write a bunch of songs, and that takes time. Sometimes we can write 3 in a row that are like goosebump songs, but sometimes it could take us 50. And I hear once a phrase, because I'm a basketball fan, and I'm very good actually. Not. And I heard that if you think, I got it from him. And it was like, if you think training is hard, try sitting on the bench through a whole game. And I think that is kind of what we do. We train as hard as we can, and once we are like in the game, it's just like it feels good.
And when you take a break, you like to take a break from each other too after the tour.
Yeah,
sometimes we ended up going on holiday together because we miss each other.
No, but we definitely take just a couple of days off, and we start calling each other 8 times a day, or 10, or 20.
What room are you at?
Yeah,
what room are you?
No, but seriously, it's like
This is not a hotel, Jesse. We're not on tour anymore.
No, but we have this. It's
hey,
kind
see you at the lobby. I'm at my house.
We end up taking vacation together. We've last time we were taking a few days off, and then we saw each other because I came over to visit, and
I don't know if it's yours.
you can have it.
No,
we have more here. Thank you. We always end up taking a vacation together. It's like, I don't know, we miss each other after a while. We complain about spending too much time together, and then we can't get enough of each other.
What do you mean you don't know? You don't know why you want to hang out with me, or what? Like, why would you? Why wouldn't you?
But you need your time.
But yeah, it's funny because it normally takes us like 2-3 days to be like, what you doing? Can they come over? Oh, and his wife, yes, mi Ramon. His wife can cook, so it's always like, oh, so what you guys have planned for dinner? You want to go out? It's like, no, we're having dinner at home. Oh, I don't have any plans. I was like, it's like, can I come over?
Then you show up.
Yes.
The collaborations, you like to do it differently, because I know with Alejandro Sanz in this new album, you wrote your lyrics and you left a blank space for him, for his words. But then with Juan Luis Guerra, he kind of picked whatever he liked the most from you guys, what you presented to him. So it's always different with depending on the.
Each collaboration has to be unique, has to be special. The one with Alejandro has been, it's been like an experiment. Whenever we wrote it, we were actually thinking of him, and Jesse had this melody, and we started developing the whole idea. And he said, "I just hear a raspy voice. It has to be Alejandro." And I was like, "He's on tour. We're kind of on tour too." It's like, well, let's get the ball rolling. We just started writing it, and we're like, you know what? Es un genio, and he can seriously write. He can seriously write, and so we were like, okay, here's what we're gonna do, because we didn't call him just then. We had to like have the whole idea before calling him. So
make it easier for him.
Yes, of course. It was like, so we wrote all the parts that I sing, and we left his spaces in blank. We wanted it to be a conversation, a true conversation. We wanted Alejandro's chispa, you know, his little, you know.
Pero éramos montoneros porque éramos varios con él haciendo la conversación, like responding, answering back. From a girl's perspective,
I'm a strong woman.
Still, like, with guys like, hey, I tell him this. Like, yeah, we'll tell him that. And what if we're like, oh, yeah.
It was a dialogue.
It was a real dialogue. And
it started as a monologue.
And I called him up and I was like, hey. So we wrote a song. You're supposed to be in it. But I was like, look, we just wrote the parts that I'm singing. We'd love for you to sing it with us. If nothing happens with the song, it's completely okay. But we had already been talking about writing something together for a really long time. And I was like, look, we have different record labels. So we were like, if this doesn't happen because of, you know, your label, our label, it's okay, we'll just have fun. He was like, no, I'm totally down, and we have to do it. So we were cracking up while we were writing it back and forth, and we would send each other different lines, and I was like, oh, can you believe he answered this? And then we'd spice it up. And it was like, and so whenever we were back in the studio, I think just everything came to life, and it was really fun. But Juan Luis is...
I love the video also because it's one of those videos that we just ended up hanging out together with friends, and it was actually we got lucky that they had cameras and we were filming it, and it's a video where Joy can show that women can be sexy without being slutty, and so I think it's something that I really love.
That's $100 for later.
Thank you.
You don't have to do perreo.
No. I'm white. I can't dance.
And with Juan Luis, we've been talking about for years of doing something together, and he was just like, "You got some collaborations out at the moment. I have some stuff. Let's just wait for the right moment so it's special for us and for our fans." So we wrote this song along with a bunch of songs, but right after our daddy passed away, we wrote this song called Un Besito Más, One More Kiss. And he wanted to have some sort of ideas and directions what we were thinking song-wise, because he wanted that real fusion. So he was letting us do our thing, and then he was going to add his thing. And we sent him 3 songs, and one of them was Quiereme Despacito. The other one...
Ay, doctor.
Ay, doctor. And... and I remember we send them as well. What? Dueles. No, Dueles no. Well, we sent incluyendo Un Besito Más. And
Un Besito Más was later on.
It was actually the last song that we sent him. And he was like, and yeah. De ahí te lo forwardé.
I want to see that email.
I'll show you the email. You want to bet? You want to bet another $100 so I can make 200 today? And he's like, I think we got it. Es la bachatita. And we're like, what? Could he be talking about Quiereme Despacito? Which it has a little of that flavor. And he goes, no, la del besito. And it was nice because he was really close to us during the whole process, or that, like before and after. I mean, there was that coincidence that we were together during the process before and after. I think it was really nice, and and he has a como una energía muy paternal, plus spiritual. Plus, our dad always was giving us advices and crítica constructiva, and it was just funny because sometimes when we were recording the song, he was saying some things or doing some things that our dad would do, and we were like, oh my God. It was an amazing experience to record that song and with him as well, and him picking that song and the whole vibe around the song. And Joy did it in basically she did it one take, as she usually does. The same as with Me Soltaste, which will be our next single. I ended up using and showing them the first take they did. She did after 3 takes of the vocals.
We normally record the songs, and I like to go from head to toes because a lot of times when we're recording, it's like let's sing the verse a few times, then let's sing the chorus a few times, and then we find the parts that we mostly like. No, but I like singing it from top to bottom a few times until it feels like we're singing it live, and then we have that, like it feels
real.
Yeah. So I sang it a few times from top to bottom, and Fraser was there, one of the producers from the album. So we're like, okay, are we ready to start comping? To put the song together. And I was like, no, let's go get some coffee. Jesse, do you want some coffee? He's like, yeah. We go out to make coffee and everything. We come back and Jesse's like, I'm done. I was like, it's not a competition, Jesse. He's like, no, guys, listen. And Fraser's like, what takes did you use? She's like, it's the first one.
But the only thing with Un Besito Más is that it was one take that we had to do it. We took a break in between. And it was because she started crying while she was behind the mic. So then we got back in and we're like hugging, and it just makes me...
They're
there. And then she finished the song. But that song has that special thing that it was born from a sad thing, but ended up blooming into a beautiful flower. That the song talks about how we tell our dad how much we want to give him one more kiss. So we're asking him to save it for us the next time we meet. There. So that makes even more special the current nominations, because we also picked that song to have the name of the album, the name of the tour, everything. And we actually, there's a star on the cover album right between Joy and me. So that star just happened to be at the warehouse that we shot the photos for the album in London. And we saw them and we were like, can you just take some photos of the star? It's kind of cute. We didn't think that we were going to end up using it because we recorded most of the album in London. Only Un Besito Más and 2 more songs. We did them in different places. So we came back to London. We had the photos and some photos of a star that was there. And then we went to Dominican Republic to record Un Besito Más at Juarez's studio at his place, which is really cool. It has a palm tree right in the middle of the place. He didn't want to take it down, so it's cool because inside of the studio...
He built a studio around the palm tree.
The palm trees, which is awesome. And he has a basketball court also, which is really cool.
And then this one time at band camp.
And thank you, Joy.
I wasn't gonna. I didn't want to
cry. So I started in the studio, and then
super
going
cool.
to Dominican Republic.
The palm tree.
And the star. Thank you. Star. And then we had Un Besito Más recorded already with Juan Luis and everything, and we were like.
That was a very special moment of, okay, what's going to be the name of the album?
Because we either make up a name for the album or we pick a song that has the weight enough to carry the name of the album and ended up being that song. And we put that star as all of a sudden it made sense and it just clicked. That star is like one star, that new star that we have in heaven that shines for us. So in the album cover, you can see like
your hat.
My hat.
No,
Good
really.
Point. And in my hat, you can see some very representativos volcanoes from
Mexico.
from Mexico, which right below the brim of the hat, which is El Popocatépetl y el Iztaccíhuatl. And then below Joy, you can see Lake Michigan, which is really close from where Mom grew up. There is right at the border with
Nuestra
Canada.
bicultura.
So it's like the biculture, and then the star, Dad, right in between us. So that's the whole story behind the star, and the star that goes everywhere with us right now on Un Besito Más tour.
And how you said that these nominations were really special
That makes
because of
everything that's happening right now even more special, because it's like we feel the blessing.
I think we're getting ready for your questions, but I wanted to ask you something because I didn't know. I was doing my research. I've been talking to you a couple of times, and we have a great time in Uruguay in July. She did an amazing performance too.
Oh, thank you.
You too, Jesse.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love female vocalists. So. I heard, and we're going to talk about you as a singer. It's the next question. But that you guys love film. You're a movie buff. Yeah. And then when you think about an album, you're not only thinking about the melodies, the music, the vocals, but also to be visual. How do you accomplish that?
We try to do it, I think, all the way from the songwriting process of this. I mean, when we write the songs, we try to make it as visual as possible, and then putting them together in an album. We want it the same way when we sit down and watch a movie, that it has, like, it starts, you have the introduction, you have the climax, you have this, and then I can't, the climax is like, and we do it the same way, putting all the songs together. After doing it with one song, we do it with all together. That it's not all the time it's up here, and not all the time it's down there. You have a midpoint,
you want to have
like Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear.
You want to have moments throughout the album, and whenever we're picking the songs for the album, we know they feel right, like una camada de perritos, you know. Entonces, knowing that these belong together, now we put the album together, and then it's figuring out what the first song's going to be, the second song, etc. Because we want it to have moments. Like, it's like if you're watching a movie, you want to have this introduction, and then you want to know what's happening in the middle, and all of a sudden you want to see how it's going to end. Thank you. You want to see how it's going to end, and we want every album to be like some sort of movie. And whenever you're finished listening to the album, it's like you have a soothing sensation, or say, I want to listen to it again. And whenever we're thinking of videos, the same thing happens.
I can't wait for the sequel.
Yes. And sometimes it happens with the videos as well. Like, sometimes we're writing and we're already thinking of what the video could be like, or if we could add something or make the story of the video complement the song in some sort of way. And
contrast.
Exactly. And for example, our latest video, Dueles, which is Helpless, the song talks about, I don't know, it hurts so much loving someone. Sometimes we wish we had never met them in the first place, or it's like, I wish it didn't let me love you, you know? And in the video, I love that you see the other version of the story. This guy, if you haven't seen the video, this is a spoiler alert. And the guy is leaving the girl because he wanted to save her. So there's this other side of the story. And I mean, not to compare it to a movie, but we like to be visual like that sometimes with the videos as well.
Okay, well, and you're the protagonist of that video, right?
Oh, by the way, the Oscars, the nominations are coming out.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe he's going to be out.
Submit his video.
Thank you.
Okay, so there are two songs in particular.
By the way, we had like a meet and greet the other day, and there was this little girl. Then when she saw me, she got really scared.
She freaked out.
She's like, I thought he died.
He's alive!
For real. I was cracking up.
And it was Dia de los Muertos, you guys.
Well, there are two songs in particular from your last two albums. One is Tu Mi Poesía from the album Con Quien Se Queda el Perro, and then El Malo. And I'm mentioning them because both of them feature full vocals by you. You're very daring. How could you dare to sing when you have this woman next to you singing? No, but seriously, why you did that?
I think in a way, the same way whenever you watch an action movie, there's like a funny part in the movie that makes you laugh. That's the part in the album where Jesse sings.
Comic relief.
Yeah, it's just so the next time you hear Joy's voice, you go like, oh.
No.
It's marketing, pure marketing.
No, I think you force him, in a way.
First time, yes. Then I regretted it. No, I'm kidding. No, because he was like, what if we do the opposite? Why don't I record the album and you do the feature in one song? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, the first time I was like, we wrote that song and it sounded like a duet. And yes, collaborations are fun, but sometimes you don't want to depend on someone else seeing their schedule and their what is like, Jesse, you should sing in it. No way. No way. And I remember we were at the studio recording Tu Mi Poesía. He did not want to do it. Oh my God. Remember? He was like, no, I think you should just go for it and record it. And I was like, go for it. Remember or no?
Yeah.
And after that, he started working up the courage, and then he sings this complete song by himself called El Malo whenever we were writing it.
That was the last song we wrote for the album.
Yeah, and whenever we were writing it,
We were already back from
he was already dreading it. He was so nervous, and I was like, it's going to be great. And it's such a beautiful track in the album.
I produced the whole song in my bedroom. So, yeah, I want to publicly thank my wife for letting me turn the bedroom into a home studio. Temporary. Yeah, she wouldn't let me keep it as a studio, unfortunately. But that was the last song that we recorded for the album, and then I realized that it was kind of actually a cool thing to do. We're gonna make it a thing. Every album, just do one song. Hopefully, she didn't get the memo.
Oh.
She didn't get the memo. Kind of like, and I remember kind of like Oasis used to do.
Dude, knock on wood. They're not
in
together
in a
anymore.
cool way.
You know?
No. Like every once in a while, every album you'd hear a song with. Yeah, they're gonna get together. You hear a song. I mean, Liam's voice was the sound of Oasis mixed with whatever they did together musically. But every once in a while, you hear one of those funny songs, where Noel would sing, and I think it was actually a cool thing.
But you're not confident enough to perform it during the tour, right? You haven't done it?
Yeah. I mean, thing is, we have thank God we have a bunch of songs over the years that have ended up being big ass hits. Thank God. Sorry.
PG-13. PG-13.
Sorry, Joy. And
well,
and besides sang by Joy.
No. But
so you want to sing a song between all those songs, or would you just? I'm like,
No,
every once in a blue moon, or what is ¿qué tipo de luna hay ahorita?
Supermoon.
I might do it the next show we play in LA.
But fortunately, we are officially cumpliendo 11 años de carrera, 11 años de trayectoria.
Gracias.
No, literally, thank you. It's because of you. We really, really mean it. And we've had a good few singles. So the show becomes, oh my God. Thank you.
Te cuido.
So in the show, we have so many singles to pick from. And sometimes it's hard to say we can't sing the single because we already have like 20 songs to sing. And then it's going to be, oh, okay, let's sing 22, 23. It's like,
and my song's
people
right
to leave.
there, right at the bottom, right there. We just sing.
He sings it eventually. I mean, once in a while.
I think we're ready for your questions.
I'll play it for you next time we play in LA. Yeah.
I know tonight we're not going to hear you tonight singing, but next time. So questions from you guys?
I'm intimidated by Joy, actually.
No. Please go ahead. It's a small enough. So
Hi.
Hola.
Hola.
Una pregunta. En el 2013 tuvieron unas canciones que eran la de Mi Tesoro, que fue especial del álbum, y luego también la de Canción de Campeón,
Sí.
dominicana. En este álbum, ¿alguna canción especial estoy sacando aparte del álbum? ¿Alguna colaboración especial o algo para extra de ese álbum?
Estamos preparando una edición especial de Un Besito Más, apuntando un poquito más hacia el próximo año. Y vendrán algunas cosas especiales o rarezas o
Sorpresas.
sorpresas.
¿Más canciones tuyas, sabes?
No sé. Gracias.
Por eso le decimos el malo.
More questions.
Hola, Jesse y Joy.
Hola.
Yo he tenido la bendición de seguir su carrera cada vez que están por aquí. Incluso los acabo de ir a ver en Indio con mi madre.
Muchas gracias.
Y lo que le estaba platicando a mi amiga es que su música de ustedes, como dicen, enseña la cultura de dónde vienen, parte de México y estadounidense. Mi pregunta no es sobre música, sino en un mundo tan dividido ahorita, estamos todos como perros y gatos y quieren construir una pared entre la humanidad. Ustedes muestran qué bonito es ser de dos culturas.
Gracias.
¿Qué mensaje tienen ustedes para nosotros, para su público y para todos los demás en relación a sobre ser de diferentes culturas y unirnos?
¿Un segundo? Solo nada más digo así, igual cierras, pero nosotros no somos políticos y encontramos que con el tiempo que es mejor enfocarnos a lo nuestro, ¿no? Y no meternos en, como diría papá, en camisa de 11 varas. Pero en un mundo tan dividido y que se está hablando tanto de odio y segregación y discriminación, nos dimos cuenta que al final es equal hate. Entonces, lo que nosotros hacemos con nuestra música, y indirectamente, sin necesidad de hablar de política, lo que nosotros hacemos con nuestra música es amor. Entonces es como antídoto para el odio, ¿no?
Yo creo que se pueden hacer la cantidad de muros que se hagan en el mundo siempre y cuando no sean aquí. Y definitivamente tratamos, mi hermano y yo, de ver el vaso medio lleno, no medio vacío. Creemos, bueno, antes que nada, tu pregunta hace rato, nosotros definitivamente estamos coloreados de color azul. Y estas elecciones para nosotros fueron muy fuertes. Nosotros estábamos súper ilusionados porque iban a ser nuestras primeras elecciones en las que podíamos votar. Tomó un periodo extenso el podernos registrar. Sabemos lo difícil que es registrarse y por eso quisimos tomar una acción fuerte en la cual invitamos a muchos jóvenes a hacerlo. Votamos durante la gira, entonces tuvimos que formar el abroad ballot, ¿no? Entonces, definitivamente fue complicado. Entonces, ver las elecciones y ver cómo se iban coloreando cada estado de color rojo fue muy fuerte. Honestamente, no era el resultado que nosotros esperábamos, pero dicen que pues the cards are dealt. Ahora lo que sigue es lo que creo que es una oportunidad maravillosa para que nos unamos, ¿no? Y no estamos hablando nada más de la comunidad hispana, estamos hablando de latinos, estamos hablando de asiáticos, estamos hablando de muslims, estamos hablando de la minoría, que si nos juntamos somos más. Entonces creo que es la perfecta oportunidad para que los que tenemos derechos peleemos por los que no lo tienen, que los que tenemos la mente abierta y sin muros demostremos que sí, el amor trumps hate.
Y parte de lo que todos y parte de lo que todos los que fuimos sorprendidos por los resultados electorales estamos queriendo lograr con ese cambio es que haya tolerancia y creo que parte de lo que está en nosotros es, ok, vamos a tolerar tener a alguien que probablemente no fue la persona que elegimos y es parte de, estamos aportando algo nosotros al decir, ok, estamos respetando a una autoridad y leí el otro día un comentario que se me hizo súper accurate y es esperar porque sea un mal presidente sería como ir en un avión y estar esperando que el piloto choque cuando todos vamos en ese avión. Entonces, aportar nosotros cada uno en nuestro día a día lo que podemos hacer para el cambio y para hacer un mundo mejor y pues esperar que todo vaya bien.
Otra Otra pregunta, una dama.
Y si no, tenemos también pasaporte mexicano. No, thank you.
I know. Thank you
Very
for
chatty,
coming.
sorry.
Mi pregunta es sobre el video Llorar. De todos los paisajes hermosos que tiene México, ¿qué puede Paricutín o por qué lo tienen ahí? ¿O qué significado tiene para ustedes?
Pues Michoacán fue un estado muy golpeado por la violencia hace unos años y no es ningún secreto que México ha sido azotado por la violencia desde hace tiempo atrás. Entonces escogimos Michoacán porque era uno de esos estados a la que la gente dejó de ir y es un estado maravilloso que nosotros hemos tenido experiencias divinas, maravillosas cada vez que vamos y lo escogimos justamente para eso, ¿no? Para que la gente viera que hay paisajes hermosos, que también hay cosas bonitas pasando y logramos justamente ir a la cima de ese volcán, que hasta la fecha yo no sé cómo subieron ese piano, te lo juro, no me quisieron decir el secreto. Dije, bueno, la magia del cine, prefiero no saber. Y fue justamente por eso que escogimos Michoacán.
Suchoacán.
Allá atrás.
I was wondering if you have any advice for an upcoming duo, being that it's different than being a solo artist. Someone who's trying to make it as a duo.
So I'd say follow your dreams. They can always come true, but not by crafts of magic. It's just a consequence of hard work, believing in yourselves, and a lot of discipline and heart, I say.
¿Qué dices a eso?
And you need a joy.
In your heart.
No, pero a mí me gusta esa pregunta, porque cuando se habla de qué puedo hacer yo, no sé si aquí de pronto hay alguien que sueña tener una carrera también en la música, que tiene talento y que no sabe por dónde comenzar.
I think, do you speak Spanish? Okay, you understood what he said. So, a lot of times we want maybe we want the right thing for the wrong reasons. And I just have to say that as long as they're making it for the music or their dream or their goal is music, I think things happen around that because we've met people that are like, can you give us some advice or this or that? We want to be famous like you. And I'm like, whoa.
Oh, she already started.
Exactly. To be honest, and we are the perfect example that dreams do come true because.
And there are easier and faster ways to get
Oh
there.
no,
just
yeah, to be
famous.
there
You
are
know?
way easier ways to become famous. Yeah, let me ask him. No kidding. But but honestly, it's
You have the easy way or the hard way?
and for us, the hardest way is always the right one, even though it might be a little longer. Sad. No, I mean it. I think we would have found something that would have made us happy.
Cheese? We'll be selling cheese.
And beans.
Cheese and beans.
Well, I
no
often
need
think that to be honest, and I think music saved our lives in a way. I hated school. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really, really, really hated it, and I was just thinking, what could I do to please my parents because they really wanted me to accomplish something in life. And whenever we started writing music, and they saw how passionate we were and how committed we were, I think that's whenever they were like, okay, maybe these kids aren't fooling around. Maybe that's their dream, that's their passion.
They're not trying to kill each other,
But
at least for a couple of hours.
I don't know. Maybe I would have gone into. I love cooking, so maybe I would have.
More eating than cooking.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a foodie.
Foodie. I love basketball, so I don't know. Maybe I'll be a painter.
I think we have time for one more, maybe? Yes, one more.
Well, we have two more.
Okay. Tú
Hi.
Hola. Likewise, thank you.
¿Cómo están? Mi pregunta es, ¿cómo ha cambiado su manera de escribir desde el álbum uno, Esta es mi vida, hasta ahorita un Besito Más? ¿Y si ha cambiado algo en qué? O si no ha cambiado mucho su estilo.
Sí ha cambiado, ¿no?
Ha cambiado, pero creo que hemos tratado de no perder esa, o de conservar, o de no dejar que al menos que no cambiemos nosotros, porque cuando regresamos y escuchamos canciones que escribimos hace 11 años y aún nos emocionan, aún nos recuerdan a esos chicos que empezaron haciendo el primer disco de su vida y estaban con toda la emoción del mundo. Igual ahora escribimos lo que ha cambiado es que escribimos con más responsabilidad de saber lo que puede significar una canción en la vida de una persona, o cuántas personas van a escucharlo ahí, o que van a estar ahí las canciones hasta después de que nosotros ya no estemos. Y hemos poquito a poquito perdido como el miedo y tomado más confianza con la gente de abrir nuestros sentimientos, ¿no? Nos hemos dado cuenta que entre más honestos somos con la gente, conectamos con la gente.
Y bueno, de donde yo veo que ha cambiado es, empezamos a escribir muy jovencitos. Yo tenía 15 y Jesse tenía 18, entonces nuestra manera de ver la vida era otra. Todo era un cristal color de rosa y era una inocencia hacia la vida.
Todavía
y...
Ay,
no.
¿Verdad que
$200.
¿Verdad que nunca te has dado un beso?
Definitivamente eso empieza a cambiar, ¿no? Nos vamos de viaje en la primera gira. Y para empezar es la primera vez que estamos lejos de casa, no están papá y mamá para poner orden, entonces empezamos a vivir la vida de una manera mucho más real, mucho más cruda. Empezamos a ver, como dice Jesse, el efecto que tiene nuestra música en la gente, el decir, yo escribí algo que yo sentía y ahora me doy cuenta que hay más gente sintiéndolo. Ya hay una responsabilidad, ya sabemos que hay gente que lo comparte. Y creo que va cambiando en ese aspecto. Empieza uno a vivir más cosas. Hay una cierta inocencia que se pierde. Hay un poquito de lenguaje que va cambiando porque pues uno va creciendo. Pero ha sido súper lindo el experimento que hemos tenido los últimos días en revisitar canciones de hace muchos años. Y va a ser mucho más interesante el también pensar cuáles van a entrar en el quinto álbum, que es muy prematuro el hablar de eso, pero es un experimento bonito porque son canciones que no nos dan oso ni pena. Es decir, qué lindo que existía esta inocencia detrás de una niña de 15 años y de un niño de 18 y que podemos ahora aportar algo para que no sea quizás tan rosa, a lo mejor va a ser más rosa mexicano, ¿no? Y creo que en eso ha cambiado. La edad ha pasado encima de nosotros, pero hay algo súper lindo que creo que seguimos buscando ese cristal de color de rosa para ver el mundo a través de él.
Y tratamos no ha cambiado, que tratamos de escribir la mejor canción que podemos hacer en ese momento y dar lo mejor de nosotros. Eso nunca va a cambiar.
Okay, and I think one last question, because we want to hear them also.
Hola. Ay, no me recuerdes.
4 nominations.
Thank you.
Pues fue muy fuerte. O sea, yo sé que a todos nos tomó por sorpresa, pero justamente nosotros habíamos hecho una pausa en la gira para venir a México a cantar con él en Guadalajara, en este evento tan grande que iba a tener. Iba a ser la primera vez que íbamos a cantar el tema en vivo y completamente en directo. Entonces, mi hermano y yo, te juro que pensábamos que era uno de esos pranks de Twitter, esperando a que fuera de esos
deseando que fuera un prank, ¿no?
Sí, definitivamente. Yo creo que pasaron un par de días y estábamos esperando que dijeran, no, ya apareció. Y fue muy triste, pero imagínate, también hay una parte de nosotros que piensa que esos niñitos de 15 y 18 años que estaban escribiendo en la sala de la casa hoy se encuentran nominados en una categoría con uno de los grandísimos nombres de la música hispana, ¿no? Entonces, para nosotros el honor de estar nominados ya es un reconocimiento, ya es una premiación.
Decía papá, mira vieja, ¿y tú que los querías tirar?
Okay, I think we're ready.
I know, I want to keep talking.
Necesito.
Así que los dejo
Gracias.
y que nos deleiten.
Gracias.